Every year there's exciting new patterns that come out, and this year Brian introduced us to the balanced leech. Now this is a great leech pattern to fish over weeds, so make sure you have these materials ready before you tackle this pattern. For the hook, we'll use a number 10 jig hook. We'll use a 5/32 silver tungsten bead as the bead. We'll cut a pin to length for the extension for the bead. We'll use some 8/0 wine thread as the thread. Some Claret Marabou with red Krystal flash as the tail, and some dark blood Leech mohair for the body. To start the fly off, I've put my hook in my vise and tied on my thread. And what I've done is taken a straight pin, just a normal straight pin, and left the head on the straight pin. And what I've done is cut the straight pin in half, and then slid my bead up so it's stopped by the pin head. And now what we're going to do is actually place it on our hook and tie it in as the bead on the very front. So when I place this on the pin, and I'm going to tie it over the top of the hook, I'm probably about 1/4 to 1/2 inch in front of the jig hook eye. And again, tie it on and tie that pin down so it's nice and secure and your bead sits off the front of the hook. After you have your pin and your bead tied in off the front, I move my thread to the back of the hook, and I just want a small clump of marabou. Now, it's important just to use a real small clump. You don't want it too thick back there. And we're going to extend it just off the back of the hook, again, probably 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and just tie it in. Once your marabou is tied in, take 2 strands of Krystal flash, double it over your thread. I always like to double it up. Pull it down, and again, just cut it to length. You want it about the same length as your marabou tail. Now that the tail is all tied in, we want to put in the body. And this mohair, actually mohair rope, is very good. It forms a real nice body. So we're going to tie it in right at the back of the hook. And again, keep it thin off the back. Tie it in good near the rear of the hook. Take our thread all the way up right to behind the bead. And now we're going to wrap our body in. And then after we get the body wrapped in, we'll pull this all out to form a nice leechy body. To finish off the fly, I'm going to take my whip finisher, and again I'm going to whip finish right behind the bead, just like that. Then after we whip finish, I want to take my dubbing pick and really pick this body out. Now mohair picks out nice, that's the purpose of the mohair. And really pick it out to form a nice leechy body. So there you have it, the finished blood red balanced leech. And I like to vary this pattern. A lot of times I'll put a red glass bead in behind the silver bead that I've put on, adds a little bit more glint. This pattern is the best pattern I have ever used over weed beds, so give it a try. I know you're going to have luck.